All right, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is King of Cards Tarot Readings with another general collective message. You know how I like to do. You know what I like to do. I'm always trying to see the good. I'm always trying to find the good. I'm always trying to make things better. Yesterday was a doozy for us, but today looks, honestly, it's strange because sometimes when we have a harder situation, it actually makes things easier for us to handle. You know? I don't know if that makes sense. But so for my flash reading, I'm going to say basically be happy for the things that don't appear or don't manifest for you currently, because as much as I hate to say it, the things that are coming for you would have no space to show up if the things you wanted to happen happened. So, it's a little bit of that old adage. Again, something that frustrates me. It's not something that I live by. So, you can kind of trust that since I'm saying it here, it's appropriate in this moment, not just like be happy for what you don't receive because, your prayers are being answered. That's not what I'm saying. Not, I mean, sure, whatever. Work hard, you'll succeed. Like all these things, sure, they have their place. But for me, the whole point of tarot is not just to say that these things have their place, but to try and find out when and where that place is so you can know, like, is now a time when I should be, like, pushing hard to break through the threshold, or is now a time to, like, relax, regroup, and, like, maintain my energy? Because both of those are valid operating principles, and they have widely different outcomes. And both of them can cause you to miss what you're looking for, or can be the key that gets you exactly what you need. So, yeah, the current reading is saying there are things that are not going to show up. There are applications that won't even receive a rejection letter. They will simply go ignored. You'll never hear back from that recruiter, that person you met at the bar. They are never going to text you back. They'll never answer the phone if you call. Like, they didn't even give you a fake number. They just saved you in their phone as do not answer. Something like that. So, yeah, but what I'm saying is if you were these things are not coming forward, not so much because, but these things are not coming forward, and there is a clearing happening so that new things can come through. Things that are already trying to bridge the gap between where you are and where they can meet you at. Like now that we have cell phones, it's a different story. You ever like call somebody, You guys are like planning on meeting somewhere, but then you like check in as you're closer, and like maybe you're closer to the destination than they are. So then you start walking towards them and you can like meet them halfway rather than making them walk all the way to the destination to meet you. And that way you get like that half walk back together. So you get more time together because you go out of your way to catch them halfway rather than if you waited for them to get to the destination. That's time with them you lose because they're walking it alone. That's what's happening here. Something that wants to meet you is trying to find out where you are so it can meet you a little bit ahead of where you're supposed to meet. Yeah. Destined crossing point. But it doesn't want to go the wrong way and throw itself off. So like right now, something is making decisions in its own life, in its own time, in their own world, trying to understand where you are and how to find you. And yeah, maybe you're both on this collective. Maybe you're both listening in. So I'll jump into the reading now. Our main issue is Five of Cups in reverse, called Disappointment. And this card is about being prepared for something and then that thing not showing up. However, I think it's important to sort of link this card to the Knight of Discs. Like, for the Knight of Discs, disappointment is the best thing because he's prepared for the worst. So, when he doesn't have to deal with the worst, that's a blessed day. So, don't think that disappointment is a bad thing. And the other side of this is that being prepared for something is better than not being prepared very often. Not always, there are times. But so seeing this in reverse is giving me the feeling that the disappointment you feel, the what you're lacking isn't actually what you want. And so it's like you're prepared. You're so prepared that if this were to work out, you would waste 2 years of your life trying to make something work that's not what you should be spending those 2 years on. And so, because you're so prepared, Spirit is keeping near misses from you, else you invest in those things that are close enough. Okay, so for our right hand opposal, our positive influence, or our future state, we have Prince of Wands in reverse. And so Prince of Wands is the airy element of fire, the thought of action. And so this is like all the visualization you do in your head, all the fantasizing you do, the thinking about what it's going to be like, what you hope it's like, things you'd like to do, what you'll do when the moment comes. And it's kind of saying, like, if you can turn that down a little bit, that's going to be the best way to make it through this time where nothing is happening. Um, but it knows, or it looks like, that's still going to be the predominant energy for you. Is that thinking about what you would do, what you will do, what you hope to do. But that's not bringing anything forward. It's simply happening in your head. Okay, and then for our left hand opposal, our negative influence, or our past tense state, we have Eight of Cups in reverse, called indolence. And this this card has come up for us quite a bit in the past month. Um, so seeing it here in the past tense and in reverse is kind of saying, like, you haven't been lazy enough. It's like you keep stirring up the dust and then you have to wait for it to settle. Whereas if you had just been a little bit lazier, a little bit less attentive to this thing you're prepared for, you probably would be less, like, activated by the lack of completion here. So, yeah, I guess I'm getting. It's not time yet, still, at least in this current window, but this gives me a lot of hope in regards to yesterday's reading because it is telling me that you are doing the things you need to be doing to be ready for it when it comes. But if anything came now, you'd be so devoted to it that when what you really want comes, you would consider that to be like the illegal thing, the thing you're not allowed to do. And that would be a true a tragedy. Fuck. Damn. Ouch. So just stay single a little bit. Don't sign that contract just yet. Wait a little bit longer. Like, you can keep fantasizing, you can keep practicing, running through the motions, but you're already ready, you're already prepared, and there's nothing you can do to speed up the process, but you can mess up the process by letting something in too soon. So that's really the thing to be careful of. Okay, and then for our deck top card, we have adjustment. And so again, this is that tipping point between one way of being and the other way of being. So it's really it's telling me until this threshold is crossed, nothing will land on your altar. But the bottom half of the spread is telling me, like, don't clear the altar and don't put anything else on it. Like, leave it open, leave it waiting. Right now, that is that's the task at hand. Is like leave it open. It's like a trap in the woods for a bear, if that's the thing people do. I don't know. Like, leave it. You can keep checking it, but if you're there when the bear comes, you'll actually scare the bear away from the trap. So leave it, check it as infrequently as you can, only as frequently as you need to, and just wait. Honestly, now is a great time to distract yourself with like low attention things, things that don't require you to go fully devoted forward into them. Okay, I think that's pretty clear, everybody. I think that's pretty universal for the collective right now. Like, you're ready for this thing to come through. You've been trying multiple times for things, they haven't been working, and that's a good thing. Because if they had worked, you would not only miss out on something that's coming, but you would be in a position where you wouldn't be allowed to receive it or accept it. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I've said it before, and I will say it again. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted when new messages drop. This has been King of Cards Tarot Readings. Stay safe out there, and until next time, I'll see you real soon.